Manchester United have beaten Liverpool 2-1 at Anfield with goals from Bryan and Mbeumo and the winning goal from Harry Maguire, with of course a consolation from Cody Gakpo. This means Ruben Amorim finally gets a back-to-back win in the Premier League. This sees Manchester United beat Liverpool and Liverpool secured their fourth loss in a row. This is Liverpool's first loss at Anfield in 400 days. This was a hard-fought victory and given Manchester United fans many reasons to be optimistic for the rest of the season. What conclusions can we arrive at from this victory? We dug deep, we were aggressive, and we fought for every single ball. In today's tactical analysis, we will look at what I believe was the catalyst for today's victory, and that was our defending. Specifically, we will look at what Luke Shaw and Ligt did right today. We will tactically look at how they were aggressive and not just reactive but proactive. They closed down the half spaces and they stopped Liverpool from playing their game. We will tactically break it down together as we always do. We will also have a look at the role of Casemiro today and how I believe he was pivotal, vital today in terms of his tracking back and following his opponent into dangerous spaces, as well as touching on the roles of Ahmad, Diallo and Mbeumo today and how once again their relationship continues to grow and they continue to develop their cohesion and their understanding. Now, as usual, there are many things that we could break down, we could analyze together, but I've chosen to just look at these specific things. And while Maguire and the whole back line was really good today at keeping Liverpool at bay, I want to focus on the right and left centre-back, Ligt and Luke Shaw. Now, before we get into our tactical analysis, I want to politely request that you smash that like button, turn on your notifications, and if you are new to the channel, please subscribe below. This is a channel for the thinkers, for the critical thinkers, for the people who like to think about football. And if that is you, if you like to break things down objectively, if you like to think about things, if you like to critically analyze football as much as I do, this might be the channel for you. This might be the community for you. So if you are new to the channel, please subscribe below for more content like this. So without further ado, people, let's break it down. Now, one of the main jobs for the left and the right centre-back under Amorim's system is to occupy the spaces in front of them. In order to do that, they have to be, rather than reactive, they have to be proactive. They have to spot the danger, see the player, and be able to move out of position, push forward and occupy that space, close them down whenever they try to play in between the lines. As you can see from the tactical board, Luke Shaw and Ligt, they want to push up into that space if required of them. If not, they will hold their position. The blue rectangle illustrates the half space between the lines, between our midfield and our defensive line. That's the area in which the right and the left centre back need to patrol. That's the area in which they need to be aggressive, they need to be proactive, sniff the danger, be comfortable enough to push forward, to jump into that space, be comfortable enough to fall backwards. Whether it was Cody Gakpo, whether it was Salah or even Isak, whoever it was, we today were able to control, stop Liverpool from playing in between the lines, stop Liverpool from having joy in these half spaces. Luke Shaw and Ligt did it very well. As you can see from the tactical board, whenever they pushed up onto Luke Shaw or Ligt, they were able to handle those situations quite fine. And whenever they drifted away, tried to play in between the lines, as they often did, Luke Shaw and Ligt were able to push up, occupy the space, mark them tightly, stop them from playing their game, stop them from having joy in between the lines. We did that very well against Liverpool, and we are getting better at it. The left and the right centre back under Amorim's system are starting to understand how aggressive, how proactive, how flexible you need to be to play this system. These players need to be equally comfortable keeping their position and equally comfortable vacating their position to occupy different spaces if required. This is very, very important, people. Now, one of the difficulties of playing this way is, what if you're close? What if you're tight with this player right here and he decides to spin you, go behind you and make a run there? Well, in that situation, because Luke Shaw is already goal side of his man and will always be goal side of his man, he should be able to, in theory, track that run. So if he is aggressive, drops deep, and he gets turned, in theory, he should be able to track his runner backwards. So today we saw Luke Shaw and Ligt, and I could actually put Maguire in that situation too, because Maguire also had a good game. He was very strong defensively, and I think he played because of his aerial ability. But today I've decided to focus on the right and left centre back. And today they showed the necessary aggression that is required and proactivity. They weren't just reactive. They weren't just reacting to the situation. Luke Shaw is somebody that I have criticised before in the past for being more of a reactive player. In order to play this system, he has to be proactive. He has to see that someone is dropped into that space, move into the space and mark his man closely, be aggressive, occupy the space, close him down, move out of position. In Amorim's system, often our move, our attack begins from our left and our right centre back, stepping up into midfield and driving the ball forward into our striker, into our midfielders. The right and left centre back have to be ball players. That's one of the reasons why this manager loves Martinez. Not only is Martinez aggressive, not only will Martinez occupy the spaces, drive forward into that midfield position, in between the lines, he's also a good passer of the ball. He can fizz the ball to our strikers, to our attacking players. Now, let's look at examples of this in real time, in game. This clip that I'm about to show you is probably not the best clip to show because Liverpool actually get an attack from it, but it at least illustrates what the manager wants, what Luke Shaw and Ligt are trying to do. As you can see, Luke Shaw is way ahead of his defensive line. He is probably the furthest defender, and I believe he probably wants to mark this guy. He wants to be aggressive. He's seeing this guy open here, and he might be thinking, I need to leave my defensive line and go and attack this man. Whether it's the right thing to do or not, that is open to discussion, open to deliberation. But the idea of him closing this man down, him vacating his defensive position, him trying to be proactive and aggressive remains the same. As the move unfolds, as you can see, Liverpool have gone long, which means now he's out of position. And now he has to chase back. You can argue Liverpool should have done better in this situation. They have a man on the left wing, Salah Gakpo, who's currently unmarked. And like I said, you can argue it might not have been the wisest decision for Luke Shaw to vacate his position there. But he's been trained to do this. He's clearly been told to be aggressive, and that's what he's tried to do. And that is the point I'm trying to make. The one thing I do like about this clip, as well as the point I'm trying to show you, is the fact that we got back very quickly. We don't dilly-dally. Luke Shaw in the past seasons maybe would have jogged back. He sprint back. He actually sprinted back. And we got back in a pretty decent shape, as you can see. I do want to highlight this situation though. I've seen this before many times, and I think in this situation, we often have a lot of men in the box, a lot more people in the box than your position, but sometimes they often get a header, even though we have more people in the box. And I think this summarizes that idea, that concept perfectly. All four of our defenders are standing in a line. He's kind of free. He's kind of free. In this situation, we are being reactive. We're just reacting to what's going on. Nobody here is being proactive. You could argue, do we need Maguire and Ligt covering the front post? And Luke Shaw as well there? Could he step here and be a bit more proactive and seeing this runner? I think these are the situations that we need to do better. Pullbacks. In this clip, similar situation as before, but because Isak is about to run off the back of Shaw, of course he cannot be aggressive. He cannot close the line down. He cannot step forward. Of course he can't. He has to follow his runner and he has to run back towards his goal. So, as I said before, we have to be able to push up into the spaces, into the half spaces, between the lines and be aggressive, but also be able to run the other way if need be. And in these two clips, I have illustrated both scenarios. Isak does actually get the ball. He does actually manage to get a shot off, but the shot, fortunately for us, was straight at Lemens. Like I said before, there were a few performances that stood out to me. And before Casemiro got that yellow card and before he got substituted, I think he had a very good game. The thing about Casemiro is that we know he doesn't have the speed over a certain distance that we probably want or need, but we cannot get somebody with the same defensive nous, the ability to watch over his shoulder, the ability to track his man. You cannot easily teach defensive awareness. And today, Casemiro gave us that. He not only gave us a bit of control in the middle in the first half that we did not have in the second half when he got subbed off for Ugarte. He also did something that doesn't come naturally to Bruno as an attacking player. He's able to look over his shoulder, track a runner all the way back into his own penalty box. And we saw that time and time again against Liverpool. Specifically, he would track his runner back into this position and cover this area. And I saw it happen a few times against Liverpool. Very, very good. His runner would go and Casemiro would simply follow. This is something that's not easily taught, people. It's not easily taught. And it's very, very important that we have Casemiro. Yes, he doesn't have the legs that we need, as I said before. But up here, his brain, his understanding of the game, his maturity really, really, really helped us in the first half, in my opinion. I do also want to mention Bryan Mbeumo and Ahmad Diallo again today. Like I said, I could mention a few more plays, look at a few more things, break down a lot of other things that happen in the game. But as I said in my last tactical analysis, Bryan Mbeumo and Ahmad Diallo are beginning to form a relationship. Their chemistry is growing. And one thing that helps this, in my opinion, is Bryan Mbeumo holding the inside channel, holding his inside 10 role and allowing Ahmad the width, allowing Ahmad the space of the right wing. Before, both Bryan Mbeumo and Ahmad were occupying similar positions, similar spaces. The understanding wasn't there. The more Bryan Mbeumo plays inside and allows Ahmad the width, the more Bryan Mbeumo drags that right, or should I say the left back inside, infield, giving Ahmad Diallo the space, the better we play. Now, let's go from our defensive shape to our attacking shape that we all know, right? This is the space that we know Ahmad wants to play in. This is what we want Bryan Mbeumo to do. We ideally want him to make runs inside, leaving the space outside for Ahmad to occupy. And that's exactly how the first goal came about. Ahmad holding the width. And not only was Ahmad holding the width, people, the goal was very, very efficient goal. Nobody was holding onto the ball too long, trying to dribble past players, not passing. There was no selfishness in the goal. It was literally Bruno to Ahmad, Ahmad to Mbeumo, one touch goal. That's how we need to play. Speed and efficiency. Unselfishness. The more we respect each other, the more we understand each other's game, maybe the less selfish we will be, the more cohesive we will be, the more we will trust each other and pass the ball to each other. Our first goal was very quick, very efficient, very well done. And very, very well taken finish from Bryan Mbeumo, actually. And essentially, Bryan Mbeumo and Ahmad's abilities to form their relationship, continue to develop it, understand who holds the width, who doesn't hold the width. If they want to interchange, they can interchange as long as they're not getting in each other's way, which they're now starting to do very well, very effectively. It is very promising, people. And as I said, that is how we scored our first goal. Let's look at the in-game shots of the first goal. As you can see, Bryan Mbeumo is playing inside. He's not wide at all. He's just gone down after the challenge from Virgil van Dijk. He is holding his right 10 position, and Bruno has just given the ball to Ahmad, who is more or less holding the width. Ahmad's got the ball. He could run wide, but he's decided to hold the ball. He knows Bryan Mbeumo, he knows Cunha and the like are making runs. He decided, you know what? I don't need to beat this man. I'm just going to hold onto the ball and wait. This is a perfect run from Bryan Mbeumo. A month ago, Bryan Mbeumo, right here, potentially would try to run here, getting in Ahmad's way. Not today. Bryan Mbeumo is running straight towards goal. He's not trying to get in Ahmad's way, trying to run towards the channel. He is filling his position as an inside 10. The ball from Ahmad was beautifully weighted. What an amazingly weighted pass. Bryan Mbeumo didn't have to come out of his stride, didn't have to do anything. He just needed to shoot. Look at this pass there. Beautiful, beautiful pass. All Bryan Mbeumo had to do was connect with the ball. You could have slotted it into the far corner, probably still would have scored. Good finish. Really, really good move. I'm really enjoying Amad Diallo and Bryan Mbeumo's continuing, developing relationship. Today we focus mainly on, once again, the left and the right centre-back, Ligt and Luke Shaw. Their aggressiveness is a word I've used many times. Their proactiveness. Sniff the danger, find the smoke before it turns into a fire. Don't allow players, don't allow the opposition to find spaces between the lines, between the defensive and the midfield lines, turn and cause havoc. You have to close down those spaces, and I believe Ligt and Shaw did it very well. Maguire had a really good game today. He is really good with his head. We know this. It's one of his fortes, and he has often, just like Casemiro has for us, come up with the goods from a set piece. And today, he did that. I think the whole team dug deep, fought for every ball. This could be, or could not be. It's up to you. Let me know your thoughts. Is this a turning point for Manchester United, for the manager, for the club in general? How much are you looking into this Liverpool performance? We usually play well against the top teams. We often raise our game against the top teams. Last season, we drew against Liverpool at Anfield 2-2. we silenced Anfield. This season, we beat them. Are you more concerned about our performances against the lower or mid-table teams than you are against the top teams? How would you rank this performance overall? What is your impression? What is your tactical breakdown of the game? Do you even agree with my analysis of the right and left centre-back, of the defensive nature of our performance? Or maybe you disagree. Please leave your comments below. This is a channel for you. If you like to think about things, like to challenge me, challenge my opinion, please leave a comment below. This could be the channel for you. And if it is, please subscribe below for more tactical analysis and tactical breakdowns, as well as match reactions, match analysis, match watch-alongs, and much, much more. Be part of something fresh. Be part of this new community. We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. We are not there yet, but with your help, we can get there. I hope you have a wonderful day, a wonderful week, and don't forget to tune in next time for further tactical analysis and breakdowns.